All right. This is not a hot take for the sake of clicks, but someone's got to say it. Carlos Alcaraz might actually be overrated on grass. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve his titles. I'm saying the hype is outpacing the reality fast. He's won 2 Wimbledons. He's beaten Novak Djokovic, but does that really mean he's the next king of center court? Or are we just watching the tennis world crown someone a little too early? Let's start with the obvious. Since 2023, Carlos Alcaraz has been on a tear. He's got a 90% win rate on grass. He's won back-to-back Wimbledon titles. In 2023, he outlasted Djokovic in 5 brutal sets. In 2024, he took him out in straight sets. That's not just impressive, that's legacy-level stuff. I am at Queen's Club 2025. He didn't drop a set. Served 18 aces in the final. Dominated de Minaur like it was a practice session. His return game, best on grass. Literally. He leads the ATP in first serve return points, 32.56%. That's nuts. And when you watch him play, slice, drop shot, net, lob, he's unpredictable. It's like he's rewriting grass court tennis in real time. So, yeah, I get it. If you're all in on Carlos, you have every reason to be. But that's just the surface. Stick with me. In 2022, Carlos lost to Jannik Sinner at Wimbledon, and it wasn't close. He got steamrolled for 2 sets, tried to rally in the third, then folded in the fourth. It looked like he didn't know how to move on grass. He slipped, he mistimed returns, he second-guessed net approaches. It was clay court Carlos dropped into a British summer nightmare. And even in his 2023 Wimbledon win, let's not forget, he was pushed to 4 sets by Matteo Berrettini. He dropped a set to Jerry. In 2024, he barely scraped past Tiafoe in 5. Ugo Humbert stole a set off him too. These weren't Novak or Medvedev. These were guys ranked outside the top 10, and Carlos looked vulnerable. If he's the most dominant grass player since Federer, why are mid-tier players regularly shaking him up? Let's call out what everyone's tiptoeing around. This era of grass court tennis, it's not exactly peak 2000. Djokovic is 38. Federer is gone. There's no Roddick, no Hewitt, no Cilic in his prime. Who are Carlos's biggest grass rivals? Medvedev, amazing baseliner, but not a natural on grass. Rune, inconsistent. Sinner hasn't proved himself yet on grass fully. If this was 2015, Carlos would have had to get through Djokovic, Murray, and maybe Wawrinka just to make a final. That's not the case today. He's beating great players, but not legendary grass players. There's a reason fans on X are split. Carlos is a generational talent, it's but beating a 38-year-old Novak isn't GOAT-tier grass dominance. Are they wrong? Or are we just swept up in the moment? So what makes Carlos work on grass? He's got lightning movement, perfect court coverage, one of the best backhand slices in tennis. His net game, clean. His drop shots, nasty. But the key is this. He makes smart decisions fast. On grass, that's gold. Still, he's not bulletproof. When Shelton brought heat at Queens, Carlos got pushed. When Tiafoe went chaotic last year, Carlos was rattled. He thrives in rhythm. You throw him off script, like Sinner did in 2022, and you see the human in him. That's not slander. That's reality. Here's where it gets real. Let's look at Carlos's 2025 Wimbledon draw. Round 1, Fabio Fognini, 37 years old, probably thinking about retirement. R2, a qualifier. R3, maybe Ben Shelton, flashy but still learning grass footwork. R4, Taylor Fritz, consistent, but Carlos handled him on every surface. QF, Holger Rune, talented but shaky on grass. SF, maybe Sinner or Musetti, compare that to Djokovic's path. Draper, home crowd, booming serve. De Minaur, runner, tactical grinder. Sinner, Zverev, then maybe Carlos 1, path is fire. The other feels like a warm-up playlist. So if Carlos wins this year, again, is it truly dominant or just a case of perfect timing plus soft draw? Let's stack him up. Federer won 8 Wimbledons, losing only to peak Nadal, Djokovic, or when injured, Djokovic, 7 titles, and even in his late 30s, he's making finals. Carlos, 2 titles. Most wins are against older Djokovic and clay hardcourt guys. He hasn't played a prime Medvedev on grass. He hasn't faced peak Djokovic on center court. He hasn't had to go through 4 straight grinders with different styles. And here's the thing. Carlos's ceiling is sky high, but calling him the next Federer on grass after 2 Wimbledons, it's like crowning a king before the war even started. You go online and it's wild. Half the fan base is saying, Carlos is the future. Get over it. The other half, he hasn't proved anything yet. He's had no true rival. Even respected tennis voices are cautious. A few commentators straight up said, we've never seen Carlos get dragged into 5 sets on grass by someone like Zverev or Prime Murray. Think about that. He's never played a full-on 5-hour epic in a Wimbledon semi or final. If that happens, and he wins, the respect skyrockets. Until then, the debate should exist. All right, I've said my piece, but now I'm flipping the mic around. Because, let's be real, tennis isn't just about stats and titles. It's about opinions, passion, debate. So here's what I want to know. Do you think Carlos is actually overrated on grass, or are we just nitpicking greatness because we're not used to someone rising this fast? Pause for a second. Carlos is 22. He's already won 2 Wimbledon titles back to back, and yet here we are questioning whether he's earned it. And that says more about the pressure we put on young stars than it does about Carlos, but hey, that's the world he plays in now. Every win will be picked apart, every loss will be blown up, and every match will spark a new wave of hot takes. So let's make this one count. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think has the tools to beat Alcaraz on grass right now? Is it Sinner, who's beaten him before? Is it Novak with one last legendary run left in the tank? Or someone unpredictable like Draper, Bublik, or even Rune? Or maybe you're on the other side. Maybe you believe Carlos is already the best grass court player since Federer, and if that's you, defend your take. Tell us why he's the future. Tell us why the draw doesn't matter. Tell us why those titles are enough, because this isn't a news video. We're not just recapping match scores or reading press releases. We're building a conversation here. Tennis Titans is a place where real fans can argue, debate, roast, and celebrate this wild sport together. So go all in, write a paragraph, or 2, or 10. The best, smartest, or funniest comment gets pinned. Might be yours. Let's make this section of the video as legendary as the matches we're watching. If Carlos Alcaraz goes on to win Wimbledon 2025, that's 3 in a row. That's history. That's a statement that echoes through tennis forever, and honestly, he might just do it. The kid's game is absurd. The footwork, the flair, the instincts. Sometimes it really does feel like we're watching the birth of a new legend in real time, but if he falls early, if he gets pushed to 5 and can't close, if someone like Draper, Sinner, or Novak exposes the flaws we talked about today, then maybe we all need to reframe this moment, because dominance is easy to admire, but true greatness is about what you do when the road isn't smooth, when the draw isn't friendly, when the spotlight isn't flattering. Carlos has already proven so much, but he hasn't faced everything yet. He hasn't had the war. He hasn't had the final set tiebreak against a player just as hungry, just as athletic, just as unafraid. That's the moment I'm waiting for, and that's what Wimbledon is for. The next 2 weeks will define not just who lifts the trophy, but how we talk about this generation for years. So whether you believe Carlos is the prince who's earned his crown, or the prodigy we've crowned too early, keep watching. Because Wimbledon 2025, it's not just another slam, it's the battleground where legacies are made, or questioned forever. Hit that subscribe button if you're with me. Smash the like. Share this with the one friend who still thinks Novak wins in 5. And stick around, because we've got videos coming all week. Djokovic's last stand, Sinner's revenge arc, the next teenage wildcard no one saw coming. This is Tennis Titans, where we don't just watch the sport, we fight over it, we live it, and we talk about it like fans, not journalists. Let's go.